Start the day. Oh, we're gonna start the day. You guys just wake up in the morning with dread. Good morning. Hey, let's start off on a positive note. I get up every morning, and every time I'm in Minnesota, it's like, fuck. Vegas, South Dakota, the West, visiting buddies. What's there to do? What? It's like a dog with a toy or a dog with a master. Minnesota's like, fuck. Same thing we're going to do every night, Peaky. Try to make it to when you go to sleep. That's my favorite part of the day in Minnesota is when I go to sleep. And I know. That's a suicide flag. That's a depression red flag. Oh my God, Captain. No, I'm perfectly fine. I just happen to be in a really shitty state where there's nothing to fucking do. And it's tiring. You get up in the morning, and you guys all know this. It's the dread shit. You know, you guys have a real job. I don't, but it's still like, okay, I got to go right. Okay, we got to do asshole consulting, which are great jobs. Don't get me wrong. Never going to complain about asshole consulting. It's, but then just then we got to work out. Then we got to do, you gotta. Otherwise, the life expectancy goes down and the money isn't in the accounts. And so today I get to go to the doctor. Mario Abadi, health is good. Health is good. Maybe I'll go into a little bit just to give you another minor update. But I got to go into the doctor today one final time, hopefully final. And they're going to do an ultrasound or a sonogram or something. And because they couldn't find anything. They think it's a pulled muscle. All this over a pulled muscle. But they speculate we're going to do one last final scientific technique, a sonogram or an ultrasound. Different technology. Might show the cancer hiding within inside, of which there likely is none because nothing came up on the blood work. And if they don't find it, then I'm throwing in the towels like, yep, you're just getting old. That's what we concluded. But the thing that pisses me off is rarely am I hungry in the morning and I'm starving right now. Like I could actually eat something. I could use some coffee. Nope, not supposed to eat anything 6 hours before your little scanogram there. And it's like, oh, shit. So already I have no spiritual incentive. I have no spiritual fuel. I have no motive or incentive to get up this morning because I get to go over into St. Paul. I get to lie there. Nurses are going to probably want to take blood. All nurses do. All they want is to take blood. Hey, we're going to take blood. Hey, we're going to take blood. I'm here for a dental appointment. We're here to take blood. It's like, well, I hope the Red Cross is doing real well with their blood banks then if you take a blood of everybody. Don't eat. Did you eat? You didn't eat, did you? It's the opposite of the wives and the women. Did you eat? Why didn't you eat? Why aren't you hungry? Why? Women will never understand that. They'll never get, I guarantee you, women's nagging or simply not, there's three things women can do. You could support, you could shut the fuck up, or you can nag. And nagging, I say, would cover a lot of things, including being obstinate. Like, ladies, you want your man to live? You want him to live? Make it easy on him. Support him. Don't fucking question him. I love how men get to this point where we make more money, we work harder, we major in harder things, we do harder things in life. We're perfectly fine. You met us, we weren't starving. And then you think you know better, and you got to question do what I fucking say, or there's the goddamn door. And it could be something on very important, like life decisions, or it can just be the goddamn food. Did you eat? Why didn't you eat? You know, I heard that they say that this stops cancer. You know what causes cancer? You fucking broads running your yaps. That's what just support. And be pretty. That's all it is. No, Mario, it's not my Irish temper. I'm Scandinavian, I find out. Not even Irish at all. Did the 23andMe thing. So now I'm going to go, and I can't eat. And so I'm already in a great mood. And, it's not till the afternoon. But it's like right at the time I'd wake up, so I can't eat, don't drink anything. No coffee, no nothing. So they're going to go in. They're going to look one final time. Indiana Jones inside Clarey's innards. We didn't find anything. He's just a pissed off, short, angry guy. Atham's already in the house because Atham doesn't sleep. Atham, what's angry chaparrito? Is that salutable? Salutable means like salutes or salutations. Saludable. English. In English. Salutable. Healthy. Yes. What's angry? What's the angry chaparrito? Oh. So, we got to do some asshole consulting because half my day is going to be tied up traveling and going to the dock and not eating, then eating, then coming back. DT will come on. He wants me to send a link to him on Facebook. Let's send him a link on Facebook. How do I do that? And so I got to do the asshole consulting. I got to do asshole consulting. We're going to do it live here. There's a couple. There's been a ton of articles. We never get to them because who cares? Who cares? Not like the world's going to change. Not like we're going to stop it. Rush Limbaugh's been highlighting the news for 40 damn years and nobody. What is this? Facebook. No reason to go through the news. What do you want me to do? You tell you California sucks even more than it did last week? Yes. Let's find DT. Put him on the thing here. It's very professional. All right, DT might join us. This kid should be off to school already. They should be going to the school. Let's get to it. Michael writes. Michael Knight. No one knows that. Hey, Midwestern Jew boy Quanta. There we go. Right off the bat. Here we go. I want your opinion on my situation. I'm turning 23 next week, and I still live at home with my parents in Connecticut. I work 2 jobs, about 20 hours a week at a grocery store and 37 hours a week at another place. If I told 2 things about you, people know who you are. I make around $2,500 a month after taxes. I went to a predominantly black inner city high school in New Haven, where most of the teachers were spineless white liberals, who would let the students get away with murder because they believed that they were just oppressed victims of evil white men like you and me. And look what they deprived those young black boys and girls of. There was no education, no discipline, no nothing. That solves everything. Just here, have more of that guy's money. I vote to take his money and give it to you, so you like me because I'm a teacher. All those teachers want to be your friends. Oh. It's almost worse than pedophiles. Nevertheless, I got completely fucked in high school because I didn't see the practical application of doing the work. I agree with you, young man. I, too, did not see the practical use. I had my IQ tested online when I was in high school. I got a 130 last year. I had it tested on Queendom, got 131. So I think my IQ is in that general area. After graduating from high school with a 2.4 GPA, that's about what I did. Went to the local community college for 3 years and took a bunch of random bullshit classes that had nothing to do with the real world. I decided to quit last year and I have been much happier since. I realized that I enjoyed working more than going to school because it actually made sense. Yeah, you made money. You made money working. And school is just such, I can't imagine what it's like. Can't imagine what I know what college would be like sort of, but I can't imagine what high school would be like. I perform a needed task. I do something productive. Even if it's as simple as taking the carts in or taking out the trash, and I get paid for it. Yeah, man. Work is great. Work is great. That might be a benefit if you never go to college and you never have your expectations brought up to like this stratospheric level that you're going to change lives and save the world and make a difference. Like, no, I'm the garbage boy. I didn't go to college. So you never have that expectation or that crushing reality. It's like, no, you're going to serve coffee. That's what you're going to do, Miss Masters in English. You are going to serve coffee. I'm so smart and educated. I wonder if women masturbate with their degrees because it's the most important thing. All right. All right. That's enough. That's enough because they love them more than their children. Okay. Okay, Clarey. Enough harsh truths. Just had a thought pop. Never mind. I shall not reenact it. It was a reasonable transaction as opposed to sitting in a classroom getting lectured about how white people are the problem, how Donald Trump is Satan himself. That never got anybody a job. I don't think that ever got. Hating on white people and hating on Donald Trump does not produce GDP, and it does not enrich you. I want to get out of Connecticut because I've lived here my whole life. I want a fresh start. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to go out west. I dream about hiking and exploring Utah, Colorado, and Montana. It just seems so vast and amazing out there. It is. It is. The thing is, I know that before I follow my heart, I need to be realistic and make sure that I have a valuable skill or trade that is in demand so I can support myself. I like moving around when working, and I want to learn something really well, become a master of it. I want something intellectually stimulating. Here you go. Here you go with your laundry list. So my plan is to join the Air Force next year at 23 years old, become trained as an electrician, and then get out in my late 20s, move to Colorado. You might be stationed in Colorado. There's a good chance of that. That's where the academy is. And work as an electrician. I want to be self-employed like you someday, so being a tradesman would probably be better than becoming an engineer. We pretty much have to work for a company. Yeah. Even if you do 1099 work, you're still kind of working for a company. I lost 85 pounds in the last 2 years. Just graduate, and just last week I got a gym membership. I work out several days a week, doing full, intense body workouts. I'm following a pretty strict diet. My plan is to train hard for the next 6 months, and then next spring talk to an Air Force recruiter. I want to make sure I'm in excellent shape so I can make it through boot camp, no problem. Yeah, you'll be able. The boot camp is not what it used to be, dude. They're now lifting girls up so they could do their pull-ups. It's pretty freaking gay. My plan is this: continue working 60 hours a week and banking my money, get in the best shape possible in 6 months, join the Air Force with an electrician contract, move to Colorado when I'm out. This is a good plan, or am I being too idealistic? Now, I asked him a question. I said, well, what's your weight and height? You're 5'10" and 200 pounds. Yeah, you still got a ways to go. Holy shit, you were fat, man. You were 285 and 5'10"? Yeah, you got a ways to go. You may have to get that surgery to remove your skin. Yeah, you do have a ways to go. I don't think you could get through basic just yet. I can only do a full few push-ups. I can't do a pull-up. Yeah, that'll change once you lose. People are like, how many push-ups can you do? Okay, I can do a lot of push-ups and a lot of pull-ups because there ain't a lot to pull up or push up because I'm a scrawny guy. I'm scrappy. Train knowledge. I also challenge myself first train 6 months. I can handle that because if I know I can handle training my ass off at the gym, I won't be. I'm not saying don't continue what you're doing, but boot camp is not what you saw in Full Metal Jacket. It's not become full pansified either, but it's you're running. You're going to want to do cardio. I know you want to lift your weights, but you're going to have to do cardio. You do a lot of running and push-ups, obstacle courses, that kind of thing. So you need to lose, even more weight. I'd say another 5'10". You don't have that much to, I guess, what? 20, 30 pounds? 30 pounds? That about right? I think another 30 pounds, you'd be ready to go. I also want to pay off my student loan debt, which I'll be able to do next month. I want to save up enough money to buy my own iPhone. Don't get a Google, dude. Just get an Android, man. Don't get an iPhone. Want to have absolutely zero strings attached to my parents before I go. That's good. We'll get on to your dating question here next. Yeah, I think you're not being too idealistic at all. I think you're being very reasoned and well grounded in reality. And you're putting forth the effort. You're doing all the hard work now, losing that weight and putting in the physical effort. That's good. I would say with your IQ though, here's what I think you should do. Go talk to a recruiter now. And you're not going to join now, but go talk to a recruiter and find out what other career options you might have in the Air Force. Because with an IQ of the 130s or the high 120s, you're probably going to score very high in the ASVAB, which is a standardized test that the military gives you. And if you come in, 90 plus or 95 plus, there's some other more interesting things you might want to do. Now, if you really want to be an electrician, okay, be an electrician. But go talk to a recruiter. Tell them you're not joining. You're still losing weight to join. You've lost 85 pounds. And say, I don't mean to sound brave, but I have a pretty high IQ. There's an asshole on the internet called Asshole Consulting. I want to become an electrician. He said maybe I should talk to you about other, MOSs, other jobs I could do if I score really well on the ASVAB. Because the Air Force, there's some cool technology and shit going on there, just like the Navy. So, yeah, if you want to be an electrician, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But maybe go talk to the recruiter, see what else there is. But otherwise, yeah, if you want to be an electrician, like that elf wanted to be a dentist, absolutely nothing wrong with this. I like the fact you're going to work 6 months, stick with your folks, save up the money, pay off your student loan debts. That's good. Get your ass into the military. Yeah, I like the plan a lot. I like it. I would say, since here's one thing I would do. Before you join the Air Force, So you're going to work out 6 months? That'll put us in April. I would say come April time, do a road trip out to the west. And why don't you check out Utah, Montana, and Colorado? That's what I recommend you do before you join the military, just to check it out so you have an incentive, so you know what's out there. Like, oh God, I can't wait. Again, you may be based in Nellis in Vegas, which would be awesome. You could be based in Colorado Springs, which would be awesome. But you could also be stationed in Minot. And that's not going to be awesome. So I would say go and see the West, even if it is for a week and a half road trip. Going to take you a day and a half just to get there from Canada Cut. But yeah, that just so you could give yourself an incentive, say, oh yeah, I really want to check this place out. And then what I'd also recommend is you read the book Reconnaissance Man before you do that. Yes, it's going to make me more money. Yes, it's going to cost you more money, but it's going to save you a shit ton more money, especially in gas. In other words, the time you take to read it and the money you're going to spend on it, you're going to get more than 5 times the amount of money back in gas savings alone, because I tell you where to go out west and what places to avoid and why. And so I would recommend you read that book. You already kind of have your plan joining the military, so don't take its instruction. I would read about the states, where to go. That's what I would recommend you do. And then use that as kind of your tour guide to figure out why. But yeah, Utah, Colorado, and Montana, you're not going to fail in those places. I would stay strictly to the west side of Wyoming. Don't bother with the eastern half. Because you're probably going to come in on. No, you might come in on 80. I think you'll come in on 80. And you putz around Colorado. Yeah, yeah, that's what you probably do. You come in on Colorado, then go over to Utah. Then you can shoot up in Montana and western Wyoming. So, all right, there you go. That's one. Let me see if DT's in the house. Here he is. What's up, DT?
Good morning.
Oh, you got some pipes on you. Let me turn this down.
My coffee's good.
You can at least have coffee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go in for an ultrasound. I can't have no food or drink or whatever.
Oh, you're starving right now.
I'm starving. Yeah.
Well, what's it called again? See, my mind isn't quite up to snuff yet.
Fasting?
Fasting. Yeah, the religious thing. So you should just combine it with some prayers, and then you're guaranteed.
Dude, I got. You know how I've kept everybody gets fat when they get older. Maybe not obese, but they get overweight, right?
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay. Even our buddy Atham, he had to lose a little bit of weight, and did. And the way I've kept svelte all this time, I've gotten a little bit, and I've lost a little. One time I think Mrs. DT said I look too thin. The trick
is not to eat so fucking much.
You don't eat breakfast.
I disagree.
Well, okay, you can disagree, but I'm just saying, if you want the number one reason I'm in this shape, I've never been overweight, is because I skip breakfast. And I got that back in college. And you will train your stomach to shrink or whatever. And to the point that, when it comes to eating breakfast, you're like almost repulsed because your body's just like, whoa, no, we gotta go. And you can handle coffee or tea or some water.
There you go. You do have some coffee though, which suppresses the appetite. So yeah.
Right. But yeah, I don't eat breakfast. And it's not that hard. And by God, the cultists out there, why are you hungry? You should eat breakfast. Breakfast. It's like, shut up. I finally got the GF to knock it off. I'm like, you ask me one more time. Have I ever, in the many years have I ever ate breakfast unless I wanted to? No. Well, then what are you doing right now? Okay.
See, I was on the bacon diet for a while, and I'd have my 6 strips of bacon in the morning, and I wouldn't have to have lunch. I'd just charge on through, have a banana maybe for lunch, and then dinner. So there's different theories out there. I'm sure you're getting into that intermittent fasting. Maybe if you
No, I
if
don't.
you skip breakfast every day, you're getting a pretty long fast period in. But you're up really late though too, so you have like dinner at 11 p.m.
Oh yeah,
or
yeah. No,
something like
yeah, no, I do. Like I'll
Right.
be eating. See, and that's the thing is
Hey, you want to go out for dinner, DT? I look at the clock. What the fuck?
let's go to Marlins and Perkins, always open over in
It's
Rapid
like
City.
Hobbits have. Oh, is this second lunch? Is this third dinner?
Fourth dinner. Yeah, I'll eat. I really don't eat much until afternoon. Like I'll have an okay lunch, but then I get a voracious appetite at night, and then I'll I'll just raid the fridge and go through a ton of stuff and eat whatever we got, and then I'm fine, and then I'm fine for at least 12 hours. Yeah, more like 13 or 14 hours, and
I think you staying svelte, I think what might have a little something to do with it is you going bing, 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 bang, 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 bang all over the place. That might have a little something to do with your energy level is high, let's say.
It is very high, and I need to bring that back down because I will die early. And it's just so, it's like, what could have happened? Like, what if everybody went the speed of the Flash, huh? What if everybody was like me? What could we do? We'd have GDP per capita of like $1 billion each. We'd have colonized and terraformed all the planets. We would have made new suns because we don't like the color of our sun. We'd all have personal F-22 fighter planes. If we all went the speed of Cappy, but no one, and I got a real, and it's a little bit depressing and sad. It's like, no one's going to be here at this speed.
I just think, I mean, if people were really fast like that, most people would just fuck more. I think that would probably be the result. We wouldn't be at Mars. We'd be like a rabbit colony on Earth, and there'd just be tons, even more humans than there are now.
Okay, well, with great speed comes great intelligence.
Okay,
I would
there you
assume
go.
people would have my wisdom to have a vasectomy or use condoms or something like that.
Maybe focus on something different than how to get to girls.
Yeah, maybe that was a good podcast you had, by the way. That was very, very insightful.
I was wondering about that. I struggled with it because it maybe stepped on a little toes here and there, but you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do, right? You got to say how you think it is. That's why people want to listen to you. You don't want to. I don't know.
Well, that's why I got sick and tired of people asking me, how do I get the girls? Because it's like, God, knock it off with the fucking women.
Right.
One, the answer's out there on the internet. Two, my answer's not going to be any different. Three, stop putting them. Look, I know you're programmed to put them at the center of life, but have we not conclusively proved that you're wasting your time?
Right.
And that you should be, and that to get the girls, you should be focusing on other things, and then they'll kind of show. I mean, I don't know how many times we got to go over that.
Right. And the point I made about for how much we hate the left, right? At least they've got big goals. At least they're like trying to change the whole fucking planet. Literally, it's climate, but socially and politically too. It
is. But what they're deep down inside trying to do is get free shit. That's all it is. When you don't have a real job and you pretty much do rely on the handouts of government or nonprofits, you will put full-time effort and work. I've always pointed out to most leftists, it's like, dude, you know that if you put half the effort you put into parasiting and white collar panhandling, you'd make 3 times the amount of money in the private sector. Like, look at how much time you said. Like, what if you just learned to code? Instead of begging, people are throwing money at you. What if you just did that? And so I understand that they do have big goals, but that's because they're going against the laws of economics that have kept society from turning into a Venezuela. Right. Shit we've learned through history all this time. And people, you can't do it. That won't work that way. You could do it, but we're all going to be eating toilet paper if we're lucky enough. And you're going to sell your daughters into prostitution.
But they're going to try.
They're going to.
They're pulling out all the stops to try. That's pretty big goal.
They wore red shirts. This time we found out we got to wear blue shirts. Then we'll do socialism right.
I mean, you're right that all big goals at their base have some kind of simplistic motivation. Motivation, all these big goals of the left, at their base is they just want free shit. Yeah. And like the big goals of the right, like, I mean, anybody, trying to make more money or whatever, anybody trying to, do that at their base or become a rock star, at their base when they started out as a kid, it was to get a girl. So I mean, the base instinct is how to get to girls, but you can at least pretend it's something different. You can pretend I want to go colonize Mars because then I'll be a fucking rock star astronaut like they were in the 60s and get laid like tile.
Yeah, you think Buzz Aldrin had problem getting his dick sucked?
No, not at all.
Hi, I'm Buzz. She'd already be sucking and bobbing on his dick. He didn't even get to Aldrin. He just got, my name's Buzz. And bam. Whoa, hey, that's not a spacesuit. Whoa, hey, hold on now.
So back to this. So you are going to find out if you're dying today, or is this?
No, I found out. I'm sorry. Didn't I call you? I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, you're okay, but
I'm okay.
But you're finding out how to fix this little problem.
We don't even know if it could be stress. There's some evidence that it's stress because when I'm not stressed, I don't feel the pain. When I am stressed, I feel the pain. I was thinking, once they said, no, your liver's great. I'm like, well, man, maybe alcohol had affected something else. And it's not, they think it's a pulled muscle.
Huh.
And so now we're going to go in.
So you're just wound up too tight. You're literally wound up too tight.
Don't know. It could be, well, one can make the argument that if it was a pulled muscle, well, it's because I was pulled too tight because I'm working out and running and I am taking it easy because I'm never going through this again. Never. I'm never going through a can. That month fucking sucked. Sucked.
Yeah.
But
so you're just gonna ignore it now? Is that what you're gonna do? You're just gonna be like, I don't even want to get tested.
Well, if nothing comes up on this damn sonogram, because it has ebbed and flowed and gone and come back, and I think it is what it is.
Right.
Nothing's wrong with my organs. They're like, you're fine. I don't feel bad. Like I don't feel sick or nauseous.
Right.
I have I'm hungry.
You haven't slowed down.
It's just like if you put your finger on your side, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's annoying, but I can live with that. And you're getting old too. Who knows? Old bodies do weird things.
Yeah. I've got a shoulder that hurts, most of the time. It's just a little bit of pain, and that's normal. So
yeah, it's better than other stuff. My mom fell off a horse and she can't move her arm more than a certain way. It's like, well, gee whiz, one, don't ride a horse. You're a moron. But yeah, there's a lot worse stuff than this. As you
get older, the reason why I've got my trick shoulder is as you get older, you might think you can play basketball again, and you can. But if you play a pickup basketball game with somebody that's a complete idiot and doesn't know how to play pickup basketball, he might come flying into you when you're making a jump shot and dislocate your shoulder like an idiot.
Right.
So you gotta make sure that your competition is good competition. Make sure you're not playing with idiots.
I was also thinking of getting back into jujitsu because one thing jujitsu does is it tests and stresses all of your different joints and positions and bodies. Like when you're a little kid, you're scrapping around, rolling around, and you build up a resilience and an increased stress testing to different moves and positions and stuff like that. But as you're older, even though you're running and lifting weights, that's a very specific set group of muscles that are getting tested and stressed, not rolling around with your brother like you did when you were 8, where your arm could bend this way and it was perfectly fine.
Right.
So I'm thinking, and jujitsu was good for that because you get the shit kicked out of you and you're bruised. And, but then it's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna pull your back when you're pulling up a piece of brick. Because you've stressed that part of your back and you stretch it and you get in a workout in. But anyway, yes, I'm going to, it's a sonogram or ultrasound. I don't know if they're the same thing. And if they don't find anything, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done.
You might be pregnant, right?
My dad made that joke. He's like, are you expecting? I'm like, you think the family line is going to continue? And I always have zingers to shut my dad up.
You should just pretend to be, I'm identifying as this. Could you check that too today? Yeah, otherwise, you're a bigot.
Otherwise, my insurance is transphobic. Is that what it is?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
it's so funny. Once people can't understand the words, they're like, what? I don't care. No, you're a guy who was a girl, but you're genetically no, don't care. Don't care. Go please do what you want, but I'm not gonna.
So what time do you need to get going?
Well, that's why I'm doing the podcast now at this ungodly hour of the morning, and I'm doing asshole consultant because I can bang that out because the GF is going to get here and we're going to have lunch relatively soon, or she's going to have lunch, and then I'm going to chumma out to St. Paul. and then I'm gonna get back. And it's like those things in the day where, that's going to be a 3-hour process. Drive out there, drive back, sit, fill out forms, whatever. Talk to the nurse.
Hey,
Did you eat? No.
Do a count of how many Somalis are there. Just little
There
tally.
wasn't a lot, like what, working?
No, at the hospital.
Oh, past couple of times there hasn't been that many. There was one time.
Every time I went to the hospital in St. Paul, there's just Somalis everywhere. It's just like, huh.
No, there was some Mexicans or Latinos that weren't speaking Spanish, so they had. Oh, I'm sorry, we had a translator go and translate for them. But I'm not getting pissed off about that. I'm not getting angry.
All right, I won't poke your side. Your side hurts.
Nope. And that's true. Me and Chad were talking about this. About he's getting pissed off at work. Even if this isn't caused by stress, my high blood pressure probably was, and I'm not happy in life when I'm this angry. So I gotta make changes, and I've made some progress. Got the blood pressure down. I don't rush and go and do. But it's days like this where I gotta, you got this big thing scheduled in the middle of the day. It's like, shit, I can't do Asshole Consulting and the podcast and write. That book, by the way, is so on the back burner right now.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that really grinds me is I could have banged out that book by now, but nope. Had to deal with
some people some people take a year or two to write a book, so I think you're still fine.
That's them.
I know.
That's them.
I know. That's me.
Those normies. Can you know what their books are shit. When did you write a book? You didn't write a book, did you?
Oh, long time ago. My fiction books.
Well, did you publish them?
No. This was before online publishing. This is when you have them.
Do you have
I have
the
them,
files?
but they're shit. They're when you're young and you write something, you think it's
how
great.
old did you write it?
Oh, I was in my 20s.
Oh, it may not be that bad.
Well, it's not that bad, but I would definitely do it different. So I wouldn't just publish these things.
TJ's 14 and he's written a bunch of books.
Mm-hmm. I know, but when I see one of the things for being an artist is you kind of have to almost believe your own bullshit a little bit. Otherwise you quit. So I thought I was this great writer and that's why I kept writing. And that's why I was kind of brave enough to show it to people and have them comment on it and try to get an agent and all these kinds. It just wasn't ready yet. It wasn't. Young writers have, especially like horror writers. There's a cliche that every horror writer, when they start out, tries to write like H.P. Lovecraft. Okay. And there's only one H.P. Lovecraft. If you try to write flowery language like H.P. Lovecraft, it sucks. There's only one guy that can do it. So it just was it's too wordy and just too long. And I'd have to go back and clean it up and adjust the perspective because that was back when I was a Christian and I kind of had sort of a Christian message to it a bit. And it took itself too seriously and I do it totally different now. So,
which author influenced me the most?
You?
Me.
Yeah.
Right, like me.
I can see your head just swelling. It's like my head. It's like my head, how it moves. Woo, it's swelling. I see your head just swelling.
Pisses me off, man. Why did you do it? Like my first book I wrote, I had, different people edit it and look at it. Well, why this? Why? And they all wanted to change it. And then I'm like, oh, this is what you all think this is a team effort where it's like, no, you're a contractor. I have a very specific task for you. And it's not to write the fucking book. That's
I disagree, man. I disagree. Like Stephen King, he needs an editor.
I don't.
He needs an editor. Everybody needs an editor.
Don't need an editor. I'm doing just fine without one.
I'll disagree with you on this one.
I need typo finders and grammar people. That's what I need.
I can't imagine you in a writer's group where you hand out your chapter. Here's my chapter. I want some feedback. And everybody's saying, oh, move this over here and maybe say this different. And you just go, no, like the Emperor in the new Dark Crystal series. You just, hey, maybe you do this and maybe you do that and maybe have this. And no, you just keep saying no to this group. And thanks for your feedback. See you later.
I've looked at writing groups because there's a couple in Vegas and I've thought about getting, and you could just tell, you look at their profiles. I'm like, oh, this is all.
No, you should not do a writing group. You would not get anything out of it because what a writing group is other people telling you what, here's how you should do it differently.
Yeah, but they all seem to be leftists. They all seem to be like rank leftists.
Sure.
And I'd walk in there with my edit, like, hey, here's my chapter why taxes suck. I don't think I'd be invited back. Shall we do some super chats here?
Sure.
Keep a tab on that one. You go ahead and read that one from the bearded.
He likes to be outdoors. He's an emophilist. Thank you for that. That's a good word. Good word. Haven't had a single issue with my girlfriend after a year. Implicit trust, no fights, arguments, shared money, cohabitation, and regular sex without begging. Morning, Cap. Thanks for making work tolerable.
Oh, thanks, bearded. Glad you can. I'm happy to hear that about his girlfriend.
That's for a year. That's good. Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't happen all the time. Nonstop Trey. I wonder, does he sleep ever? Or ever not have the internet on?
He's nonstop.
He's nonstop. He's right. Nonstop Trey. And he's all got all angles covered. All angles, all 360 degrees of
right.
Morning, Nonstop Trey. How you doing?
Maybe it's Dr. E. Nonstop Dr. E.
I thought it'd be Dre.
Yeah.
We got Nonstop Dre again. Military boot camps aren't hard anymore, sadly. Even the Marines, I thought the Marines was like still relatively badass. I remember my stepdad scaring the hell out of me about the military. He's like, you wouldn't make it. You got to run. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Jeez. Now they're helping you do pull-ups if you're a girl.
Right. Change those standards, just like firefighting.
Here, Nonstop Dre again. I only eat 2 times a day and fast for 12 hours. It's the most efficient way. It's the most efficient way. That's the way to do it there. Got a lot of people in the chat room. I don't think.
For this early, that's kind of
Well, there's the East Coast too. Remember, we got a lot of East Coasters. And they're already up. Troy.
Morning, gents.
Morning, gents. Do a blood chuckles. No, we're too tight. Can you do a blood chuckles rant right now?
I mean, it's going to be this deep voice, the coffee's good kind of rant this morning. I mean, back to this will tie in. I like to tie into things that we said earlier. We mentioned the left has big goals, and the reason why they have big goals is because they watch each other's back. They put their money where their mouth is. How many people contribute to the fucking Sierra Club? How many people, Soros is this big, billionaire Emperor Palpatine type character, and he overthrows countries. And it's because they put their money where their mouth is. They put their money towards their goals. And we don't do that enough on the right, I don't think. And so
I think, well, go on.
So give money to Clarey, God damn it. He's saying the things that you want to say, but you can't say because you get fired from your job. So he needs to at least be able to eat. He needs to be able to eat twice a day. He needs to be able to eat twice a day. Maybe if you give him enough money, he'll consider breakfast.
Hey, many people have helped me out with the Poke Bowl fund. So I've had many a Poke Bowl due to the charity and kindness of super chat donations. Because Poke Bowl is awesome. I don't think they got one in Rapid City though. I don't think it's a Poke Bowl. I know there's a ramen or a sushi place. The guy of which is also from the Twin Cities. He's been out there for 12, 15 years now.
See, I'm excited about this New Orleans cuisine place. I need to try that. I love jambalaya. So.
Oh yeah, that's good. Hey, did you know there was a classic arcade place in Rapid City?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's in the basement. I think it's by the Oasis bar.
Okay.
There's Main Street where all the shops are. Then there's the other Main Street where the Firehouse and Oasis and all the bars are.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the basement. Yeah, just find Classic Arcade. But I was impressed. They had a real nice collection, too. They had Pac-Man, Star Wars, Aerosmith, where you're shooting people with discs and everything, CDs. Yeah, it's got some good stuff there.
Well, next time I'm in town, I'll check it out.
What, the 10-minute drive to town?
Hey, I'm in the Black Hills area.
I know you're in the Black Hills area, but it's not like Rapid City is 5 hours away.
No, it's not.
All right. Nonstop Dre again. I identify as an Apache helicopter. Good.
You know that Elizabeth Warren just did some tweet where my pronouns are her. What is it? She, her, and whatever. Right?
Pocahontas.
Yeah. And if I have to do that, my pronouns are Lord Commander, and Lord Commanders. I'm Lord Commander. That's
Mine
my
is
pronoun.
Führer Hitler. So when
Yeah,
people,
Führer.
I want
There
to
you go,
make
Führer.
everybody very uncomfortable.
Yeah, Führer. That would be great.
Or Comrade Stalin. What was Stalin? Commissar Stalin? What was his prefix?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hitler was the Führer. Stalin was the. They didn't have a president. He was the what?
I don't remember. No.
Premier?
Maybe.
Not Czar. $2 from Wizardly Wizard. Thoughts on using tactical soap for getting a girlfriend? You can use tactical soap, and it will not help you get a girlfriend. It won't hurt you from getting a girlfriend, but it will.
So is this a code word for something? Tactical soap, or is it
tactical
actually?
Soap? No, they sponsor. Tactical Soap is a real company. They sponsor like Rich Cooper and Rollo Tomasi and Donovan Sharp and those guys. And the guys always joke about how if you use this soap, you will get girls. Because you're not going to get girls. It's a joke. Like if you're relying on soap, and then they run with it. Yeah, and you'll promise to satisfy your girlfriend 8 times an evening, and so they make all these other wild claims. But no, it's just a dude who makes pretty cool soap for guys.
Yeah, it's a joke because he's making fun of the tactical flashlights, the tactical, all the tactical commercials,
tactical sunglasses, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it's tactical soap. So. Gennaro Solis Jr. Morning, guys. Pokeball on me. See, we got the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
Now the money goes from medical bills back to Pokeball. Isn't life grand?
Yes.
Watch the ultrasound comes back. Holy shit, we missed this. Got 5 weeks to live.
You better knock on fucking wood, yeah.
No, I know.
Wood everywhere.
After a while, you just don't care. Like, you can't worry all the time. And you just throw in the tie. Like, I don't care what it is. I mean, so when I went in this last time when it wasn't cancer, they're going to tell me something else. And then I was like, just as prepared for, you need, it's not your liver, but your kidneys, or it's not your kidneys, it's something else, or you have cancer of the stomach, or we misdiagnosed. And then they're like, oh no, it's this thing you've had since forever. And we don't know. I think it's a pulled muscle. So I was like, oh, cool. All right, thanks.
See, if I was going to start writing again, maybe you'd go into the doctor's office and they'd find out that it's some kind of alien implant, and
that's never been done before.
That you're not actually human, right? That's why you feel so out of place.
I get that. Yes, I get that feeling oftentimes much.
And that's the little bit of, the hybrid alien DNA that didn't quite form right. And it's like another brain in your side.
I'm like a retarded alien. Like the aliens are super smart, but for human, I'm like super genius. They're like, why don't I fit in? I'm still humanoid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it would be, it would be like the Matrix. You suddenly wake up.
Yeah.
Because you realize you've got this alien stuff in you.
I'm the reject. I'm the low IQ of the aliens, but I'm the leader of humankind. But then I realize the leader, and then I go back to the aliens. I'm like, oh, El Retardo Clarey's back again. I thought we put him on Earth. No.
It's your absorbed twin. It's your absorbed twin in your side.
Why does it have to be gross? Why can't it just be, the DNA of some aliens got in them, and they're like nanites, and they help them out? Why can't it be positive? Why is there like always a parasite within me that I don't know? Why is it always gore and horror and disgust and filth?
Because it's October. It's Halloween.
All right. Our good buddy Atham. Morning, one more day and I'll be out of Facebook jail. Oh, he only had like a 7-day suspension. All right.
Do you know what he did?
I posted a funny Mexican meme and he said those damn Mexicans or something like that.
Oh, that's what he did.
And that's what he got thrown in jail. And I'm like, does anyone check? It has to be algorithm. It just has to be robots, right? Because they didn't go and look like, hey, Aldecua, that sounds Latino. And look, he's a slightly darker shade of brown than Cappy is. I wonder if Atham might be from Mexico. And if they looked at the profile, oh my God, he is.
See, I say some sort of extreme things, and my Facebook is public, and I've never been reported. I'm I feel so bad.
But you don't post as much as Atham. Okay. I'm sure everybody, if you went through everybody's Facebook, and hell, not even by today's standards, let's imagine 10 years from now with the increasing amount of censorship and the increased minutia, everybody is going to have, they'd have to like just start all over brand new. They just have to start.
Well, the fact that the background of the YouTube site is white is going to be seen as racist.
Yes, soon, so. Yes, it is. It is racist. It is. Jonas T for €20, which I think it's $1.10 per euro. Let's look up euro to dollar. I think that's like $22. So thanks, Jonas, for €22. He says, watch your vids for years since didn't know about college and career, skip college in debt instead of just working up the ladder. And years later now, a compliance VP on 6 figs and just got a house on a Mediterranean island. There we go. See, this is why I stand by my product.
What does TY mean? Thank you.
Thank you.
Dar.
This is why I stand by my product. It's not that hard. See, that's one thing is like if you do truthful stuff, you could stand by your product. If you sell lies, you can't.
True. Yeah.
You can't, we just didn't do socialism enough.
Imagine selling lies and it works. Hey, thank you so much. It would make you go, wait a minute.
Wasn't that the truth? Like when someone does what you're lying to them, like, well, you just have enough faith in yourself. You didn't try hard enough. Or it's the evil group of people over there with a different skin color and gender that keep you oppressed. Like there's always, it's never, oh yeah, the product is shit. It's never, no, socialism never works and it teaches you laziness and sloth. And that's why you're a loser. You keep having kids you can't afford. No, it's whoever sells the lies has got to, oh, you need my extra book. Like what do pickup artists do? Like when their nerd clientele like gets their asses shot down. Like what?
Well,
here's my next
blame,
book.
They blame them. They say, oh well, you didn't do it right.
Right.
And,
your cuff wasn't the right. I guess there's a zillion things. Oh, you forgot about the cuffs. We got a whole chapter about cuffs. See how you had your cuffs rolled up? That's not the way you roll cuffs. Now, according to Slicky McSlickerson's pickup artist camp.
You know what I think? I mean, that I've been thinking about it more since I did the podcast on winning, losing, and sitting back and watching. Mm-hmm. And I think what these snake oil salesmen, what they're really tapping into, and you'll agree with this, is laziness. Because is there anything that these guys have said that you can't find for free at a library? Go read some Aristotle. Go read the Bible for that matter. And you're going to pick up on all kinds of wisdom, on all kinds of, real-time, real-world stuff. Philosophy. And I mean, but these guys portray themselves as they're presenting something new. Nobody's really presenting anything new.
Well,
they're just packaging it different. If you're lazy, just call somebody up and have them tell you what to do rather than fucking read or watch an old movie. Watch an old movie.
I'm okay with pickup artists or anybody putting together a specific seminar because read the Bible. How long is that going to take just to get 5 or 6, gems on dating or courtship or whatever?
Well,
with Aristotle. So I'm okay if they condense it down to a very specific thing. But if it's based in lies, and especially by now, look, there was a call for pickup artistry 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I'd even say 10 years ago. Now it's on the internet. It's like the library. You don't need to go to college to study the liberal arts. Go to the library and do it for free. Right. Go to the internet and do it for free. But I can't fault people for taking us, so another thing is, people, my books, it's like, well, yeah, you can get what's in my books or my blogs rather, my blog. Yeah. You could just read my blog and not get the best of Cappy's books, but then you got to sift through all the other bullshit. You don't know what's good. So, I can, and some people do buy those books to save them time. So it's worth the money and the time.
Yeah. There's a difference between, knowing that you could do that and going, well, that's going to take me this long to read Plato's Republic. Right. Versus just asking this guy who's read Plato's Republic, or maybe he hasn't, for his opinion on something. I get that, but there's no excuses nowadays. There's not really any. No, it just depends on how much effort you want to put into something, and it's all out there, and it's all free.
What men are looking for with pickup schools or anytime it comes from dating advice with women. Unless it's specific to their situation. I understand I'll get like very specific questions for a specific situation. Like my girlfriend did X, Y, and Z. Oh shit. And that's different. But in general, what you see with men trying to get girls and attend these classes and all that other stuff, it's no different than women going on these diets where you don't have to work out and you don't have to diet. It's like the magic pill or diet suppressants or dude, eat less, work out more. It's always been that way. It's been that way. It's the same thing with guys. Hit the gym and get your ass shot down and learn to approach women. That's it.
Right.
Be brave, be courageous, hit the gym, embrace the suck. That's 95% of it. But humans are eternally lazy. And what are they going to pay? They'll pay for Slicky McSlickerson's pickup school where, well, you wear a shirt, because putting on a shirt and unbutton it down to your belly button doesn't take effort. Combing your hair a certain way and like leading with your right hand instead of your left because it shows dominance, whatever cockamamie bullshit they come up with. That's easier. Spending $2,000. I had a buddy who did spend, it was like $5,000 and he was there for a week. And this is before PDF and all. I mean, he came back with a folder of notes like this thick. If it's this thick on how to get women, nobody's going to stand a chance because you can't incorporate all the information in there into every possible move and action. It's you go out, you get your ass shot down, and then 1 out of 8 says yes. It really is just that.
But that's what I mean. I mean, $5,000 and the left gives $5,000 to the Sierra Club, and they fucking shut down pipelines. I mean, it's like
they're successful.
That's the difference between the right and the left. The left, like, oh, here's $5,000 to go, whatever. Yeah, the pipeline thing, and they cause all these problems. And here's $5,000 so I can get laid. I mean,
do you remember how long the Sierra Club kept that bridge from being built over Stillwater? And it's jacked up traffic and pollution and everything because they care about the environment, right?
Yeah, no, that's a lesson right there, and just how powerful the left is, because the Stillwater Bridge had been around since they wanted to replace it since the 1950s. It was that long. I mean, it's like a 70-year thing.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. So, nonstop Dre, Aaron equals honest version of Oprah without the money. Yeah. Ain't that great? Yeah, look where honesty gets you. I'm just like Oprah, but I'm honest, but I don't have any of that nasty, dirty money. It's oh, God. I think that's it. You want to do another asshole consulting request here?
Sure. Yeah.
I gotta get these out of the way. So we did Michael.
You did Michael. I was, yeah.
Video response. Good. This guy wants a video response. Dear asshole. This is, I'm going to keep him anonymous. Dear asshole. First, I'm a 26-year-old male in the finance industry. I made the typical 17-year-old mistake in high school by choosing to major in supply chain management because I thought corporate plantation, America was like the Wolf of Wall Street. After graduating, I got a job as an underwriter credit analyst with a Fortune 10 company, making around $65K in a city in the South. To keep things short, I've been on this job for 3 years. It has become extremely repetitive and soul draining. Yep. It is hard to get promoted in my company because 90% of the positions are reserved for the country club kids in the leadership development program. I've been looking for other jobs for the past year and a half, but I haven't gotten jack so far. I have no idea what to do because going back to school is expensive and time consuming. In addition, I have a BMW payment. Student loans to worry about. Dude. That's it.
You mean that BMW didn't get you your promotion that you were looking for?
One, if you had read this, let's talk about the problems here. You had read this, or you had read this, you would not be in this problem. Now, I know he didn't know of me back then, but for the other people listening.
Well, $65K isn't too bad.
It's not that bad, but he has a BMW payment. Right. What the fuck?
On $65K.
So now it's like he's only making $40K.
Yeah, right.
All right. Is there a way out of this hole I dug for myself, or am I totally screwed for life, and am I destined to rot? No, you're not. You're not.
No.
Okay, here. Okay, look.
How old did he say he was?
He's 26. Get rid of the fucking BMW. Now, sell it, get rid of it, and you're never. And if you, what car should I get? There's a chapter called Transportation in Bachelor Pad Economics that would be very much worth your while. So that's the first thing. The second thing, if it depends on his personal finances. I'm trying to find it here again. If you're making money and you're saving money, dude, every job sucks. Just suck it up for a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Pay off your student loans if you can. All right. Or if you got some credit card debt, what I would do is work a little bit more, get rid of your BMW. The cash should start adding up. Don't tell me you have a fancy apartment. Please, oh God almighty, don't tell me you have a fancy apartment. You just need to cut your expenses, pay off your debts. Then when you're done with that, or you've whittled your debt down to a manageable level, what I would then do is start looking for another career. Okay? Now, there are two options. Well, three. None of them are easy. Why, DT? Why is it successful people, it always to make the money, it's not easy? Why?
Because it's hard work. It's just, it's just you have to make an effort. And you have to make good choices.
And if it's hard, what does that do to people?
Well, they'd rather play video games, or
it scares most people away. So there's very few people in these fields, which means the law of supply works to your advantage.
Yes.
So if it's a limited supply because it's hard, I'm going to point it out again. Why do teachers make so little money?
Because there's tons of them. They're everywhere.
The easiest fucking thing to do. I got majored in education because I wanted to help the children to change lives and save the world. And then you work 9 months a year, you babysit, and then you all bitch. Literally millions of education majors a year graduate and are dumped into the education market. And then you wonder why someone who can pitch 100-mile-an-hour fastball makes more than the teachers. Because there's like 1 out of 100,000 people who can pitch, maybe 1 out of millions, I'd imagine. 1 out of tens of millions who could regularly throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Teachers, that's genetic shit. You can be an 8th grader and be a teacher. You really can. It is babysitter level skill. All right. So going forward,
I coached kids basketball when I was in high school, and I was a great coach.
DT was an idiot back then.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you tried to squirm with supply chain management. Now you realize it does. So you are either going to accept it's going to be hard, but easier in the long run, or it could be easier up front, but much harder in the long run. So I think you commit yourself to one of these 3 options. 1, you go back to school and you get a real STEM degree. I don't care if it takes 3 years or 2 years. Maybe you could keep working, go part-time, whittle it down to the point that you only got a year left. Then you go full-time, you saved up some money. However you do it, go back to community college, get your prereqs, get into some kind of, don't you dare fucking ask me what engineering program you should go. Read the book Worthless and figure it out yourself. All I'm telling you to do is major in a worthwhile subject.
Just not civil engineering.
Not biology and not civil engineering. And there's reasons why you could look that up. The number 2 thing is you can go into the world of computers and IT where it's certification based. So you become a programmer, a coder, web development. You could go into computer security, computer networking. Or you could do Seth Himes' digital career. Man, you go indemandcareer.com. That's another thing. This is where you're not going to go back to college. You might take a class here or there, but it's going to be a lot of self-study, and you're going to train yourself, give yourself a new skill. Okay? So that's another option. I guess we could throw trades in there somewhere as well. That might be option number 4. The final one is get your fucking ass into the what, DT? 26 years old, he has a degree.
What, the gym? Is that you?
Get your ass into the military.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Go in as an officer, have them pay for your food, clothing, and shelter, and then get the GI Bill to go back to pay for whatever it is that you want to get a degree in. Yeah. That's what I would do. But, and honestly, what I would, and the good thing about that is you can join up in the military. You know, if you get accepted, they don't find a medical disqualification. And then you immediately give your 2 weeks, bye. And you don't have to deal with this soul-sucking job ever again. That's the quickest way out. That's the one I'd recommend because it's the easiest. You're going to get some money. You're going to be actually challenged. I've sang the praises of the military before. That's the one I would recommend doing. But first, get rid of that damn BMW, for God's sake.
Can I add one other possibility and see what you think?
Absolutely.
So he said he was working for a Fortune 10 company, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So big time.
Big.
You might want to just throw your name in the hat of international experience or just moving to some different place where this company is, because that could be great. You might have a shit job or whatever, but those big companies are always looking for people, good people someplace else. And, where maybe people aren't going, but it would be interesting and beautiful area or whatever. And so that would be my only maybe sticking it out would be that if you're working for such a big company, you might have a chance to do something interesting if you're willing to move, if you're willing to ditch the BMW and ditch everything, right, and just go. That could be a good experience.
And as long as he doesn't have a family or kids, now's the time to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And but it's not going to solve his long-term problem that
he doesn't like what he does, right?
And he's not. Look, corporate Fortune 10. Holy fucking diversity sensitivity.
I know.
Man. Can you imagine the bullshit? He actually has to put his pronouns in, I bet. And if not this week, it's going to happen some week in the future. That is going to be so cucked and so cucked and fucked. That's what it's going to be. It's going to cucked and fucked. And no, he needs to get out of there.
But he might be able to be the minority if he goes international travel, depending on what race he is. I don't think they give you kudos. I think it's you go over there and just you're the only.
No, it's your home country. No, you're white. You're hated by your employer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But the employees maybe would, if you're the one white guy.
No, they'll hate you because you're the minority. Let's celebrate and suck the dick of minorities and worship them and give them affirmative action. That only happens in the West. They send them to Durkistan. They're going to not like him. Costa Rica, come by your timeshare down here in Costa Rica. You know who hates Americans?
The Costa Ricans.
The Costa Ricans, yeah, they don't like you coming, which I could kind of understand. Like, yeah, this ain't your country.
But I mean, I worked overseas, and in interviews from here to Kingdom Come, when they ask me a diversity question, I can say I know exactly what you're talking about because I worked in an international office. I worked with a very diverse office, and I list all the different nationalities. And I'm like, I was the only American, so I understand completely. And you just knock that fucking question out of the park, honestly.
I'd love to have some HR bint give me a question. What do you think about diversity? I think it's a political leftist indoctrination to give lazy people an excuse to hide behind a trait they're born with and not their accomplishments. And frankly, it's theft. And it's immoral and it's unethical. If your company endorses that shit, you're not a meritocracy, so go fuck yourself.
See, I've got the experience and I'm able to answer. I worked in an international office and list all these different things. And I say we all got along. And what I quickly learned is that we all basically want the same things. And it's just like they are immediately fucking shut up. And it's like, oh, okay, this guy.
You made the HR lady wet. They got
exactly.
HR lady wet.
Yep.
Here's another asshole consulting question. This comes from Juan. Juan writes, hello, Cappy. For quick summary, I'm 19 years old, living in the Kane state of New Jersey, who decided not to go to college and would rather learn to code and get into web development. I'm currently working an 8 to 5 in a freight company and learn to code on the side. All right. As someone without debt looking to move to Manchester, New Hampshire within the next 6 years, what are your thoughts on this? P.S. I will also like to travel solo when I'm 21. So what he's 19, so he's making his money, learning his trade. I said, okay, well, why New Hampshire, and have you read Reconnaissance Man yet? And he says, hi, Cap. New Hampshire, because of the outdoor activity and nature. The fall foliage is breathtaking. I would like to hike and swim more. Also, the cold weather doesn't bother me despite being Latino. It gives me an excuse to wear my nice and slightly expensive clothing. I have to confess to that. My nicest clothing is winter and fall clothing.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just shorts. I got my pasty white legs.
Shorts and T-shirts.
How you doing? I'm going to blind you. Look at my legs. No.
It's the scene from Pulp Fiction. You look like a bunch of dorks. You look like a couple dorks. They'll have to get out of their suits.
No income tax is also a big money boost. Only place in the Northeast that has some Republican conservative base, at least for now. Manchester has many amenities of an urban city without being a shithole. Bike paths, TD Bank, baseball team parks. I've not read Reconnaissance Man. I do not know where to start with your books. For now, I'd read Reconnaissance Man because that's good. And then I'd say Bachelor Pad Economics. That'd be, and then maybe if you want to read the other ones, go ahead. But I think but for his particular points and purposes, I'd have him read Reconnaissance Man.
Isn't this guy like way ahead of the curve? You said he's
way
19?
Ahead of 19, teaching himself to code, working. Dude, and I'm starting to see this with a lot of Gen Zers, is the ones that are getting ahead, they're just working.
Right.
Because why would you go to fucking college?
But it sounds like
Why?
he's thought this through. That it's like, I want to get out of the shithole. New Hampshire is kind of, well, that's the live free or die state,
That's
right?
live free or die, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with his plan. The only reason I'm going to recommend he read Reconnaissance Man is he's selling himself short, and this is very common of guys who live out on the East Coast. They don't think there's anything to the west of the original 13 colony states.
Right.
Like there's still Indians and Mammoth out there. And if they do any kind of traveling, it's usually down to Atlanta or Florida. That's where it is. And I'm going to give Juan the advice, go west, young man, go west.
Yeah.
And
so he thinks he's got to fight through Appalachia, that there's all kinds of mutants there.
No, I don't know. I don't think it's that, but I think there is there's a psychological bias. I don't know if it's safety or, gosh, that's too far. I mean, it could be something as simple as this. What? Drive all the way over there? I don't have the time. That could be it. But you guys have got to get on the other side of the Mississippi. And not only on the other side, you got to keep going another 500 miles, even 600, depending on your latitude, to get to the mountains and the cool shit. You basically got to get to the western third of the country. And so what I'm going to recommend Juan doing, it's all very detailed in that book, Reconnaissance Man, but you want to fly into Denver, check out Colorado, check out Salt Lake City in Utah, check out Vegas, check out Phoenix. Texas is okay. It's not as mountainous, but heck, if he's going to New Hampshire, that's the other thing with East Coasters. They think the Smoky Mountains are mountains. They think,
Right.
there's a tree. We must be in a national park. It's like, dude, that is not a national park. That is shit. There's county parks bigger than that over out west. He needs to expand his horizons. He needs to see what's out there because, if you were in Minnesota, you think a woman that was 160 pounds and 5'9" is pretty hot. It's like, no. Go to Slovenia, go to Asian countries, go to Russia. There are hotter women. And I think it's the same thing being in the East is you have this normal that is normal for the East, but you are totally missing out on it. So if he wants to be outdoors and free, he might like Wyoming. I hated Wyoming, but he might like it. No state income taxes, a lot more mountains.
He's right about the fall color though.
Yeah, but you can get that other places.
Yeah.
It's, New Hampshire is not the only place that's got trees.
Right.
So, and I'll go into the details in the book, but yeah, Juan, you got to go west before you commit to New Hampshire. And maybe after you do some traveling around, you're like, oh yeah, I like New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling, visit Coeur d'Alene, go to Montana, go Washington State, go Phoenix or Arizona, especially winter. Don't do it during summer, but do it during winter. I mean, there's so much more pretty beautiful stuff out there in the West that he really would be doing himself a great. And it might take a year or two for him to thoroughly check out all the main places.
But he's so goddamn young. This is the time to do it, man.
But here's the thing.
He's way ahead.
Here's the thing. He'll know.
Yeah.
Then he'll say, no, I'm going to move here. And instead of being like every baby boomer, and it's going to be every Gen Xer, it's going to be every millennial, they're going to wait till they're 65. And then they're going to say, hey, you know what? Let's move to Las Vegas. Why are we here in Minnesota? It's like, well, because you anchored and you fucked and now you have kids and the kids are in the school. See, like you picked up and moved. That was great. You didn't let your kids rule. The kids have the children, their friends. Like, nope, we're out of here.
That was the toughest part. I will admit that was the toughest part. Watching those kids say goodbye to each other was real rough.
Yep. And
it wasn't as rough for them because the kids think that they're just going to see each other next week.
Right.
They don't really understand what's going on. But as an adult watching that, it's like, man, they are good kids and they are good friends. But But we got to do it. We got to do what we got to do. We got to go.
You're not going to hang out with anyone before high school. You might hang out with 2 or 3 people from college.
You'll be really lucky if you've got a lifelong friend like that. Yeah.
And you'll be lucky if your friend doesn't move one state over or more.
Right. Well, and when you're in school, if they move one city over, you never see them again.
Right. And so I just, Juan, you got to go out west, man. You got to go. And then the travel guide is Reconnaissance Man. It's exactly for your purposes and intentions. You want to be free. You want no state income tax. You want to be surrounded by a bunch of leftist dipshits.
Yeah.
And it can go down to city, like Washington State is great. Just stay on the east side of the Cascades. Do not go to Tacoma. Do not go to Seattle.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's where it's going to save him time and money to like, okay, I know I can avoid this entire area of that entire state. And he'll, I think that's, yeah. So there's nothing wrong with New Hampshire, but I think you gotta go out west. So get a car rental, buy a car, and drive.
And if you're living someplace else, you can always take a vacation at that 1 week where fall color is at its peak and go enjoy the fall color and then go back to wherever you're living. So there's ways to, I totally agree. Living here in the Black Hills, autumn, fall isn't nearly as cool as back in Minnesota. That's about the only thing back in Minnesota that's better is
all right.
fall color. I mean, down near Winona and stuff. I mean, forget about it. That's freaking awesome down there. Yeah. That's as good as the East Coast for fall color. As good as Vermont.
Well, there are non-pine trees. You'll find forests of what is.
Yeah, they're around, but it's not like you look up and there's an entire stand of maples just blazing red and orange. That's not like that here.
Yeah. Well, I'll take.
And but the good outweighs that small little tiny bad.
Yeah, I understand he wants to get out of Connecticut. I understand, but he's got to hop on a plane and yeah, that's the problem. Is he's 19, so he can't exactly rent a car for cheap.
Yeah,
that's
true.
One problem. That's one big problem he's got. So, but I always had a car. I paid for my car. It wasn't a Beamer, but I fixed it. A wizardly wizard for $5. Thoughts on forgiveness from either of you? I still have trouble forgiving my parents for their awful advice in social relationship programming. I'm very anti-forgiveness until they come up and ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's ever really a problem.
That's my big criticism of Christianity is, they'll say, well, you have to forgive. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Because Jesus forgives. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If this guy who's a piece of shit dies and then Jesus is standing before him and he goes, I forgive you. The piece of shit's going to go, forgive me for what? What? Why are you forgiving me? Fuck you. To forgive somebody, they have to seek forgiveness. To forgive somebody, they have to say they're sorry. They have to understand what they did wrong. That's what forgiveness is. You can forget. You can kind of move on or let it go or whatever like that. That's different than forgiveness.
Right. And that's I wouldn't call that forgiveness. That's forgetting because
exactly.
it will burn you up. Now I remember. Like there's some people where it's just like, old Cappy might have cancer. Be a shame if they stayed on this planet. Don't go any further. Don't go any further. Don't say anything. Don't tell me that thought hasn't entered everybody's mind. You're driving on the road. You want to ram Tilly off the road. Do you really want to murder Tilly? No, but gosh, it'd feel good at that moment just to ram her off the road. Don't tell me none of you have it. Oh no, I've never thought about killing. Because if nobody's ever thought about killing anybody, why do we have murder as a capital offense?
Right.
Why is that a felony?
I like, there's a movie, I never saw it, but somebody gets diagnosed with, whatever. He's terminal. Yeah. And so he just goes around and tries to kill bad guys to kind of die going out in a hail of bullets. Right. And he keeps on looking at him and going, can't you shoot straight? Does
he miss all the time or something?
No, he's doing good. He's fighting gangs or whatever. And the gangs that are trying to kill him, they're not very good. So would you shoot straight? It would be like at the end of Gran Torino if Clint Eastwood didn't get killed at the end of the Gran Torino. What I tried to do this noble act and you guys fucked it all up.
No, the thing is not to, because my God, you want to talk about getting screwed over by so many different groups of people, not just your parents. Like, I don't think a lot of parents didn't set out to be evil or bad. A lot of them set out to be lazy. A lot of them valued their careers and their educations over their children. A lot of them valued themselves over their children. I understand that.
How many people take life seriously, Cap? How many people actually do the hard work to figure life out to be able to raise their kids right?
No, they just want to have kids. A lot of women, they want to get married and have kids, but very few of them want to be mothers or be wives. And the same thing with a lot of men. A lot of men want to be rich, but they don't want to put the effort in. They'll lease a Beamer to look like they're rich, but they won't actually put in the effort to just pay cash for a Beamer. Of which point, if you get to that level, you're not buying. You're like, why would I buy a Beamer for cash?
Or they don't help out their boy. They don't help out their son.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why you've got a market, Cap, is because all these fathers have failed their sons.
Those fathers are absent, either kicked out of the household or they were present. They just didn't instill anything. Yeah, no, it's sad. It's sad. But getting back to this forgiveness thing, the only thing I would say is you don't want it to. You gotta forget it and let it go. Otherwise, it will eat at you.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I won't forget. I won't forget. And maybe there might be a, hey, Cappy better make $1 billion GoFundMe account, or some things might happen. You like that family of yours. Be a shame if you didn't meet next Christmas, huh? That's
Has anybody ever asked you for forgiveness, like truly hat in hand asked you for forgiveness?
No. Now, I asked a gal for forgiveness one time. I apologized because I was wrong. And I looked this gal up that I wronged one time when I was younger. And in person, went up and apologized. Said I was wrong and she was right. And I'm terribly sorry.
And you weren't part of a 12-step program either. I mean,
no,
some
I was
people
not part.
do,
No, this was not part of a 12-step program. This is just someone I fucked up. Well, you know what? Okay, there's been times like I yelled at some kids one time, and they were just being kids, and then the parents were all upset and worried, and then I apologized because, like, you know what? They're being kids. I shouldn't. That was an overstep. But where I've actually truly wronged someone, there was one time, and I did ask for forgiveness. Yes, but I'm trying to think.
But has anybody asked you?
No one's asked me for forgiveness. No.
Somebody asked me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And it was something bad. And just total hat in hand. He wrote a letter.
Really?
Just really felt horrible about it. And the next time I saw him, I basically said, I forgive you. And it was, you could just see this guy totally like brighten up. And just, when it's real, it's real, and it's a powerful thing. If it's for real, I would say forgive, because it is a powerful thing. You don't know how much of a difference that can make.
Then you got to give it to them. That takes more courage than anything else. I mean, shit, you're wrong.
Yeah,
that is so rare.
Right, exactly.
It's everyone's pride gets in the way, but yeah,
And then this guy died early too. So I think back and I'm like, man, I'm glad that after he, wrote that real heartfelt letter, and then the next time I saw him, the next time I happened to see him was in a church at a wedding. Yeah. And so I just kind of put my hand on his shoulder and I said, I forgive you. And it was pretty powerful. So if you do get a chance to actually for real forgive somebody, like they're actually asking for forgiveness, I say do it. And it helps both of you, really.
Well, and how far is this world going to go? Look, everybody expects everybody to perform at this perfect level.
Right.
And people just don't do that. People just don't do that. And
everybody fucks up. Some things are big fuck ups, right?
and you're going to insult your wife, or you're going to hurt your husband or something like that. And, unless it's like, oh yeah, you blew the soccer team, you gotta give some people a little bit of leeway.
What about the people that forgive people that like killed their kids?
Oh, those are no. Those assholes are the most greedy, selfish, despicable people on the face of it. Like that Amy Beale's parents. Amy Beale, if you don't know, she was killed in 1998. She was going to save the Africans. She had it different. This white girl who was a teenager, she knew different this time. So she went to help out whatever African village, and they killed her. And then and some of her black friends obviously down there were trying to, no, she's friendly. And people just didn't give a shit that day.
Right.
And then her parents were like these touchy-feely liberals. They went out and they forgave the village.
Yeah, when the village didn't ask for forgiveness.
Well,
that's all bullshit. That's
the
bullshit.
Parents love themselves, and they're such arrogant, egotistical,
kind of Christian, like I'm going to stand on my pedestal of Christianity.
I will stand on the corpses of my children to show you how good of how moral and magnanimous I am.
But what about a criminal that actually, like, you see the courtroom scenes where crying, I totally effed up. I wish I could take back what I did. I asked for your forgiveness.
It could be. I think it's just because they're getting thrown in jail.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the first time they got caught and like there's serious consequences. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would react in that situation. I don't know if you could forgive somebody.
Oh, like someone murder your children? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, they're legit. They're legitimately saying, "I'm asking your forgiveness." The best I would say is, my forgiveness doesn't matter. You're going to have to take this one up with the big guy. That's what you should be worried about right now.
I'd be like, I think I'm going to come visit you to remind you what a scumbag you are. If someone killed my kid, that's where the rules change, the laws of physics change.
Yeah. What about have you seen the Three Musketeers remake where Charlie Sheen before he kills everybody is like, I forgive you, bless you. He's saying these things. That would be the best I could do.
In the 90s?
Yeah,
that's a long time ago.
That would be the best I could do for forgiving somebody who killed my kid. Would be, okay, I forgive you, and shoot him in the head.
I would be more Antonio Montega. You killed my father before to die. I'll give you anything. Wealth? Yes. Riches? Yes. I want my father back. That's what I would do.
All right.
Fanny Perry for 10 pounds, which is like $13. Cappy, love the truth, although it feels like a nut trap. Tips on dealing with an arrogant genius who's my team lead is terrified, stiff around him. Wait, deal with an arrogant genius who's my team lead.
Oh, the team is terrified, stiff around him.
My team lead is terrified. I see. Yeah.
The period should be after lead. So arrogant genius, who's my team lead. Okay, so that's the leader, and then the whole team is terrified, stiff around him.
God, yeah, he asked if he should tolerate. I said, I don't know if he got a choice. I mean, that's his job, right? He got to put food on the table.
Right.
I don't know if that's the worst. The worst thing is when you have a sadomasochistic, you have a masochistic boss who gives you contradictory orders where you can't do your job. That's the worst. And they yell at you and they're constantly changing. You run into egomaniacs like that. An arrogant genius, well, he's the team lead for a reason. So there's a little bit of credibility there. He could also be an arrogant prick on top of it. But I mean, is he fucking dicking around with you guys?
If I'm going to guess,
yeah,
I'll guess at what happens. It's like he's saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. Right. And people are afraid to ask questions because he's so smart that he'll make them feel dumb or feel bad or get angry at them or whatever. That's I'm guessing if this guy is a genius and really good at what he does, it's like, okay, I want you to do this and I want you to do that and I want you to do this. And when people are in that kind of team environment, sometimes people get scared of asking for clarification and it just causes problems, right?
I'm wondering if he would like pick on him because if he's arrogant, it sounds like he'd be somewhat condescending too. Like, what? You don't know?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking is that instead of him, leading the team and using and using his genius to help other people, he makes them feel stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like this guy's a total impossible dickhead, but it's one of two things. You either talk to the guy. If he's really causing a problem for this guy, then yeah, I guess you got to deal with it. You tolerate it, but otherwise, why don't you go talk to the rest of the team and say like, hey, I always want to do this like in banking. It's like we get everybody together. Like, now we're going on strike. Go fuck yourself, and we all walk. But I don't think it's that level yet. But I don't know. I guess I need to know more. Like, what's the horrible shit he's doing? If he's just an arrogant dickhead, well, yeah, tolerate it. But if he's sabotaging your work and making fun of people and just making it like if you dread going to work because this guy's that much of a psychopath, then you get another job. Or you get the other team together and you go to his boss, you say, get rid of this guy and we're out of here.
And there's ways to try to the old cliche, turn lemons into lemonade. I mean, if you're not afraid, if you are strong enough to actually talk to this guy, and you could be the go between all the other people, and then look good, like we're trying to get this done, here's some questions I have, blah blah blah. We want to do a good job. What's your opinion on this? We need your input here, because if we don't get your input here, the schedule gets all fucked up. And I'm coming to you because honestly, people are afraid to talk to you. So I'm hoping we can at least build a rapport here where we can get this shit done and get it done well.
It doesn't sound like slash and burn just yet.
No. There's might be some opportunity. Try to look at it as a opportunity too.
Well, and keep in mind, I'd come off as an arrogant genius too.
Well, this is the kind of guy you'd want to learn from. I mean, if he's a genius, you want to learn his shit.
It's another.
But you just put up with it. I mean, do you think? Edison was a total fucktard.
Was he?
Well, he was a total asshole.
Oh, I didn't.
A lot of these genius people are assholes, but if you can learn from them, I mean, you just put up with it.
No. Nonstop Dre, he's ahead of the curve like me, especially for 19. Yeah, Dre's 21. Although Dre doesn't have to pay for his college because Dre was smart and went into the military and has the GI Bill.
But 19, could you imagine? I mean, man, that's what we dream of. Us old guys, like, man, if we were back at 18 and we knew what we knew now.
You know what would have helped us a lot? Like, let's say Juan doesn't. let's say Juan doesn't have his dad around, or his dad's like a total blue pill. Like, oh yeah, follow your heart, and the money will follow. We would have had the internet. We would have had this sphere.
Right.
I mean, that's why it's almost. I did a video how YouTube is raising young boys. It's true because the young boys are. There's just as good as a chance now that a young boy's going to find a Rollo Tomasi or a Rich Cooper or me or Rollo or whoever. Then they are their dad. I mean, they're going to look at, okay, whatever, dad. And you know what? I know you don't like this, but what's the number one thing young boys are going to look up?
Well, let's see how to get to girls.
How to get girls, or any other question like, how do I get laid more? Well, they're going to land on those guys' pages. The net is very wide, and it's about the most important thing to young men. So we will attract moths to the flame.
Yeah.
So these boys will.
I just wish the message could be geared more towards, okay, yeah, we understand this is what you're feeling right now. And here's how to help out with that. But just there are bigger things to life too. Yeah. And you should be figuring those out as well, because it's kind of the what next. Oh, okay. Well, I got the girls now. So what's next? I mean, that's not the end. So
no, but it's if there's one lesson I could pass on to the boys, and it is critical. And then from there, everything kind of falls into shape. Falls in its natural place, including the girls, but do not put women at the center of your life.
Right, exactly. And that's so difficult when you're
that young.
And
it's so difficult when you're 18, you want to bang. I understand, because what else, but guys, you will get so many more women if you just go do your shit and get it. Now, you have to hit the gym too.
Yep.
But the worry and the fret and the stress, and that's another thing is, I wonder if my numbers would have been better. Well, one, if I was taller, but another thing, if I had hit the gym more, and was actually jacked and ripped, would I have gotten stood up that many times? And that would have saved me more time. I would have spent a fraction of the time going to the gym than the time I wasted, going to a date and getting stood up, because this is before cell phones. Like you call on the hard phone and then you'd either go pick someone up who wasn't there. That's a horrible feeling. Have you ever gone? Well, that's right. You've never dated. You've never had the experience of going up to they give you the address, you knock on the door and no one's home.
No, I haven't done that. I've had a couple bad experiences, but I hit the gym when I was young, and I was smart and I was talented, all these things. But my downfall was one-itis. My downfall was just getting this tunnel vision of having the blinders on and just focusing, because I was so driven and everything else. I want that. I'm going to go get that. And
engineers get a lot of that.
Just have fucking fun. I mean, just go out with your friends. Shit happens all the time. Natural stuff happens all the time. And if you just make yourself available, Rollo said you make your own luck, and that's the same thing with this, is if you just put the times where it was so easy was just hanging out with friends, and stuff just happens. It's not difficult. If you don't care, if you're just out to have fun and to, enjoy whatever you're doing, it's just all going to happen naturally. If you're focused on it, I remember as a kid, I would sit there and lay in bed at night and think about, I should have said this, and I'll ask her this way and she'll say this and then I'll say that. If you find yourself doing that, just stop it immediately.
It's over. You're not going to get her.
No, you're not.
Because you think it's a formula. It's
right, exactly.
It's a woman. It's a human being.
You're just thinking about it too much. Just have fun.
The amount of time, money, effort, and stress I would have saved myself had I just no, I'm going to go bike some more.
Exactly.
I'm going to go out hiking. I'm not spending my money on this date. I'm going to get gas so I can go out to Denver.
Right.
Absolutely.
And like coffee. Learn how to like coffee early. Huh?
I was just thinking light coffee. Well, can he have tea?
Enjoy tea, I guess. But I mean, if you like coffee, I mean, it's like, man, I didn't like coffee. That's one thing that's just like, if I had liked coffee back then as much as I like it now, even that alone, hey, you want to go get a coffee? Because then you're enjoying coffee. It's the coffee's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. What are you going to do about it? At least you're enjoying the coffee.
If I were to put, I would say about 95% of my time with women was wasted. Even the successful, I mean, I'm talking like when I was on dates or having sex or whatever.
Absolutely.
95% of it was not worth the fucking time.
Right.
Absolutely not. And if you boys could save yourself, dude, you could easily get a doctorate. You could start a company.
Yeah.
You could do all this
kinds of things.
And you know what? You're going to have the same level, probably more success because you're starting a company. You got yourself a doctorate. It's, in the legit field.
It gets better. The thing I like to say is it gets better, guys. I mean, I think when you're young, you think you're going to feel that way forever, that those hormone levels are going to be that forever. It gets better. I'm not sitting on a bus and get a random boner anymore. I mean, that's just it doesn't happen.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's more like,
it gets
the GM
better.
Checks out women more than me. She's like, oh, what about that one? I'm like, oh yeah, she's cute. No. Like, what is that? Like, well, you should try dating them sometime. You'll get the shit kicked out of you real quick. You're just like, no, I know what's that.
Those hormone levels are torture, though. Those hormone levels are fucking torture. I mean, that's why guys are crazy when they're young, and that's why they, will charge into fucking gunfire, is because you want to get the girls so bad you'll charge into gunfire.
No, not now. No, it's like, what? Get up, go there. Nah. I got Borderlands 3. I'm gonna play Borderlands 3. I want to play that. We got no super chats left, so that's good.
Yeah, there's 92 watching now, and only 12 likes. Come on,
hey, everybody like.
Here, I'll like it. Here.
Thank you, everybody.
That was number 13.
I have an article I want to go over. You got time for an article?
Sure. Yeah.
Because this is kind of sad.
Okay, so that's perfect for me, right?
No. Hey,
you want to take that nonstop Dre comment off the screen?
What? Oh,
come on, showrunner. Let's go here.
Come on, give me a break. Dutch supermarket introduces a unique chat checkout to help fight loneliness. The Dutch jumbo supermarket Vilgem. Okay. They help fight loneliness amongst the elderly with a chattered checkout and a special coffee corner. Okay. In the Netherlands and many other countries, loneliness among elderly people is very common. According to research, about 50% of people 55 years and older experience loneliness. Shit, I'm 44 and I experience loneliness.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys brought up your kids, right, they bring the grandchildren. Oh, wait, you voted in to have all the immigrants come in and jack up our taxes so we don't have your grandchildren. Oh. Go talk to the checkout lady. This inspired the Dutch local jumbo supermarket in Vilgem to launch two great initiatives, namely an all-together coffee corner and a chat checkout. The 94-year-old Christian Smits and Dutch Minister Hugo de Jong officially opened the all-together coffee corner last Wednesday. The goal is to create a meeting point where elderly people can meet locals and volunteers of the Alles voor Meerkat Foundation.
Okay.
The foundation, which is fully dependent on local volunteers, has been operational for 1 year and has been a huge success. They bring volunteers and lonely elderly together. The volunteers help out by doing shopping, lending a hand in the garden, etc. The Jumbo in Vilgemen wanted to contribute positively and happily host the all-together coffee corner, but that's not where the contribution ends. And they got a picture of a checkout gal talking to some old lady here. This is a weird article. Like, there's more pictures than there is article.
Well, the trend to make you feel something. It's to hit you in the feels.
Well, but then also beneath, like how a picture might have a little bit of a description. That's almost an article into itself.
Right.
The All-Together Coffee Corner was officially opened Wednesday last Wednesday. High expectations. We will regularly visit the coffee corner to get in contact with those who are in need of some support, just looking out for each other. Lisbeth Geveling is already a supporter and volunteer. Every week she visits the 94-year-old Christian Smits. I go and have a drink with her and do some shopping. We've become real buddies. From left to right, Alexander Van. Okay, yeah, so now they must do something different in the the Netherlands. The trend in the supermarket business is to introduce more and more technology with the aim to cut costs and push consumers towards self-service. By letting customers scan their shopping themselves and then pay for self-service counter, we have less and less human interaction. So what the Jumbo supermarket does is really taking a stand against this trend and play a positive role in the fight against the loneliness. And so that was all they're making elderly people happy.
Great idea.
Great idea, but is it necessary?
Apparently, if people are willing to pay more for it, right?
Have you ever seen a line stop an old person from chatting with the checkout lady?
No, but see, then there won't be you behind that old person going, "Hurry the fuck up, lady." It'll be like, "This is the chat line, so settle in." It might take a while.
I remember in Wyoming and parts of South Dakota, because it's more country culture. But the checkout people, the employees, not the shopper, but they'll talk and they'll talk to me. I'm like, lady, I'm just here for some fucking chicken.
Right. Yep.
I want to get the fuck out. No, I'm not going to go see the baseball game. Like, yeah, no, I don't want this. I don't want to round up to $1. But yeah, I've never seen it where, especially if you get two old people. There's the old checkout lady because she's retired and she needs something to do. Then there's the old lady. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yep. But now it going in that is, it's like this is the self-checkout line. And then this one is the 10 items or less line, which implies get your ass through there. And then there'll be a normal line. And then this is the chat line.
Be the old people.
If you want to have a conversation and maybe get a hug, you go through this line.
If there is a self-checkout line, do you know what percentage of the time I use the human checkout line?
Oh, I'm sure you go straight to the self-checkout line.
0% do I use human. If there is a self-checkout line, I will always go there because I can get that shit done.
I don't like the self-checkout lines anymore. There's one, we just did one, and you had to put your food in this cart, and I like how they spin around and you got the bags hanging on the hangers or whatever. And if you try to take that food off that carousel before you've paid for it, it yells at you.
Oh yeah.
So if you're there with your family and you're trying to load up and get ready to go outside and load up the car or whatever, it's like you have to wait. Oh, gotta wait until the whole process is finished before I can grab this fucking bag off this carousel. I hate that. I mean, some of it's okay, some of it is just.
Was that Walmart? Walmart's got those carousel checkouts, or is
this was at a grocery store? And it yelled at. Yeah, I was like, okay, Bert, take this bag. Oh no, Mrs. DT. And the thing yells at me, put the food back on the carousel. Put the food back on the carousel to proceed. And it's just like,
I won't lie. I've stolen things from the grocery store.
Oh yeah,
yeah, quite unintentionally, because I'll hear the beep, and
and
you put it. And I thought it registered, and then I've actually gone through. I'm like, well, this wasn't on the thing. And there was one time where it kept scanning, like, you need someone to capture that. You need someone. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, I think it was like a jalapeno, and they couldn't look it up. And I'm like, fine, I'm taking it. I'm like, if you guys want anything, get your fucking shit together and don't make me go like 5 minutes trying to get a jalapeno.
Well, there are stores now, I think overseas, where you just walk in. There's nobody in the store except for the clerks, I suppose, that are stocking the shelves. And you go in, and there's this little scanner that basically knows it's you. Okay. And you load up your cart, and it scans everything as you
walk through.
Yeah, as you walk through the little RFID
chips. Yeah, that's the way it should be. I don't know why I gotta go. Just let me charge it to my account. I'm out of here. I'm gone.
So people just go in, take what they want, and walk out, and it charges them all automatically. That's where things are eventually going.
You know what? We really need $15 minimum wage, don't we?
Yep, we do.
$15 minimum wage.
That will come a lot faster.
You know what I'm not gonna miss? And I haven't, because I go to Vegas now. But it's already starting because we had a couple cold days here in the Twin Cities. I had to get gas. And I am, from here on out, especially as it gets colder, I'm going only to certain gas stations where I put my credit card in. It asks me what type of gas I want. I click it and I pump gas. Right. There are these gas stations now. It can be -20 with a 30-degree below zero wind chill. And they want, do you want a car wash? No, the doors will fucking freeze in -30. Yeah. Do you have your rewards card?
Right.
Do you want to donate? And then there's another third thing they ask, like,
zip code.
zip code, and
Yeah.
then they also have credit or debit card.
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Identify when I put it in and out that's already a credit card. I press the gas, I'm filling up. And
you
then,
know what?
and
You know what happens on the really cold days? The computer electronics actually slow down.
slow down,
And
right?
so it's even slower to each screen. It's
And
horrible.
I remember, you know, over 5 years ago, before I went to Vegas, heck, before I went to Arizona and all that, you'd sit there and freeze your ass off like, no, I don't want to use the fucking gas.
Right, exactly.
You want this? You want that? You want a car wash? You want to update to $1?
I hate the rewards card thing. Scan your rewards card now or hit cancel.
No, I don't have a rewards card. Nonstop trade for $1.99. You save me so much time and money. Cappy tithes. There we go. Hey, you spelled it right. That's the right spelling, right? Isn't that the right spelling?
Yep, that's it.
Tithes. Yeah, Cappy
Yep.
tithes. Hey, yeah, no problem.
Titties.
Cappy titties.
Yeah, titties.
Well, we're happy to help you, Nonstop Trey. I am. I'm happy. Dude, that kid who's buying his house in the Mediterranean, you know, unlike all these like motivational speakers like, oh, I helped so-and-so flip his house to make it. It's like, it's all bullshit. Like, no, I actually got a fucker building a house on a Mediterranean island. Yeah, that I helped him do that. Yes, that's Nonstop Trey. He came from poverty. He got out. I think it was Manhattan. I think he's in Manhattan. And then now he's going to become a computer programmer. In 5 years' time, you probably have a house or something like maybe a nice, you know, quaint little bachelor pad or whatever. He'll have no debt. And then like, I'm traveling around. I owe it all. Hey, just do me something, Dre. If you go overseas, just get a picture of you having like a champagne or something. Like, without Cappy, I wouldn't have to be able to have this champagne in Paris.
It's so interesting. The perspective, I mean, like the Tony Robbins perspective, his success would be all these people becoming millionaires or whatever, right? Oh, look at all these millionaires I've created. Right. For me, it's like I'm a minimalist. I'm stiff in the government. I'm hardly paying anything in taxes. Awesome. You know, it's like the total opposite goal for me. And I don't know if that's the same for you. I mean, you're a minimalist. But I'm like it. There are actual reasons in this reality that we live in where your tax dollars are supporting your enemies. The less you make is actually the better. You're fighting the war better the less you make, not the more you make.
Right.
Because people on the right, they don't put their money towards fighting the left. They don't.
No, they don't. They would have hired me out as a consultant a long time ago.
I mean, if there was a guy on the right like George Soros, I mean, they say it's the Koch brothers. Bullshit. The Koch brothers aren't fucking overturning countries and shit like that. They're contributing money to people who give them tax breaks and help them make more money. They don't have this overarching goal of more liberty, more freedom. They don't. That's not their goal. Their goal is a selfish goal. Where Soros,
I don't care.
Fuck.
Are you trying to get me? Are you trying to get my side to agitate up now?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
I'll be like that old man where my knee starts to get bothered when it's foggy out. Oh, it was foggy in World War II. My knee's acting up again. I think there's a storm coming.
I'm just looking. See, I'm on the YouTube page and the up next and the suggested videos. I'm looking at this guy.
Yeah.
It's bulldog mindset recommended for you. How you can become a real man.
You can become a real man.
Masculinity right. Game Pua. And the little image is beta male ? Hashtag Pua with a red arrow going to this guy that looks like Ben Stiller with a mustache and sunglasses, maybe. I don't know. And a red pill on it. And I'm just like, I've been looking at that this whole time. That's why I went on that little rant.
You know, another thing that's great about when you get older and your testosterone goes down and you just get a gal, like, I don't care to go pick up girl. Do you want to increase your game? No, it was pretty damn good. It wasn't good enough. Nope. I do not want to increase my game. No. Do you want to, have you ever dated a night? Well, no, you haven't. But I recommend, you'll see these guys, they got gals on their arms. You know, they could even be celebrities and they're like models in their 9s and their 10s. Like, fuck, you don't want to date a 9 or a 10.
No.
It is a royal pain in the ass. There is always something wrong. And like, kind of like how the aliens, when they see Riley go like that, because it's like that. When I see a 10 walk by, I'm like, like there's something wrong. Just give it a wide berth. Don't talk to it. It's
well, they haven't lived in reality ever.
I know. I mean, but a young 18-year-old boy doesn't know that. He just sees boobies.
Right.
And then he gets one-eyed. Oh, and that's the worst. It's like when a 9 or 10 gives you the time of day and may actually like you a little bit, but then she runs off with her girlfriends again or whatever. And then like, I thought I got it done.
There's the occasional 9 or 10 that's gone through real pain, real heartache, real suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the unicorn, right?
Which they quickly forget.
Yeah, maybe they do quickly forget, but
it's made all better with lots of other people's money and attention.
right.
Oh, nonstop Dre. I was overseas while I was in the Marines. Yeah, but see, where was the champagne picture? He didn't take a picture of champagne. I don't think we send the Marines to Paris. I've never heard. The Marines are always off in Okinawa or something, or Korea, right? They don't go to Paris. The Army goes to Germany, the Middle East. There's some military, but where the Marines go? Marines are usually Okinawa. That's always where I hear they're going.
He's got another one here.
We do.
He's talking
you must
to you.
See it faster than me.
A $2 back and forth chat.
I can't DM you on Twitter to send you the memes. Oh, that's all right. We'll get it later. But anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to get the asshole consulting in. I'm gonna have the GF come over for lunch here pretty soon. Any observations? Any insights? Any news?
No, not really. I mean, it's big shit's happening right now. Big stuff is happening, and it's kind of out of our hands. But there's the. I mean, what's going
Trump?
on? And
what's going on?
What's going on with this coup is big time stuff, and so it's in the very least pay attention for the kind of historical kind of it's a show. It is a show.
What's the short version for those of us who don't pay attention to politics because we have more important shit going on?
Well, best that I can tell, we had the 3 years of the Russia hoax, right?
Right, and we have Ukraine.
And so what's happened is we've gotten through that. It was proven to be a hoax, and so Trump is investigating the origins of the Russia hoax.
Okay.
And the Democrats know that they are fucked if that investigation runs its course. And so they're basically shitting the bed right now. They're trying to taint the jury pool. They're trying to get ahead.
Does this have anything to do with Ukraine, or is that a separate thing?
Yeah, and that's the whole, they found this little thing in Ukraine to try to taint the jury pool on, so that when everything comes out, they can say, well, both sides do it, or whatever. They can kind of try to keep their idiots in line.
All right, so nothing new.
Well, but Trump could get assassinated. I mean, that's how serious this is.
When that happens, then I'll tune into the news. Maybe not even then, because I guess he got assassinated. I mean,
then it's time to, then all bets are off. Then it's, if that happens, it's.
I don't know why.
Change really quick.
I don't know why they hate him so much and want to get him impeached.
Because they're criminals.
I understand that, but they're not terrible. Like, I don't think Trump will win, even if he is alive to run for the next thing. I think he's rather crude and crass. And I know people are like, yeah, but 4-dimensional chess or whatever. I think he won't be that hard to beat. So I don't know why the Democrats are going to such great lengths to get him impeached or whatever.
Because Barr is investigating the origins of the Russia hoax.
All right, so this has so it's more of the fact they're going to get exposed.
If this actually runs the way that it should, people will be going to jail and maybe even try.
Sure, they will. Sure, okay, sure.
But that's how it should. It's not going to.
I was waiting for a wall.
It's not going to. But
I thought we'd have national voter ID, but I'm just stupid as fuck thinking the sovereignty of a nation should be protected.
But that's why it's so crazy right now, is because there actually is somebody in there that might just overturn the tables in the temple, right? No, he's not. He could find out. He could find out Nancy Pelosi is the main consumer and financier of sex trafficking kids in the country. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. It's just, that's how little faith I have in it. And I'm not going to get excited or worked up about it. By all means and measures, most politicians should be killed. Right.
Because they have committed egregious crime. Not because I disagree with, I'm talking right and left. Most of them are corrupt. Most of them are corrupt. Most of them probably have committed a felony, I'd say, of some kind along the financing. And most of them should be shot. This is why I have the Clarey test.
Most of them are domestic enemies of the Constitution. That's what they are.
Should have term limits, and you should have a time limit as to how much you can spend in the public sector. That's it. This is why the Clarey test, you should have citizen politicians, not politicians, citizen politicians.
Well, we've got all the right. I don't even focus on the right ideas anymore because they're all out there, and we're right on everything. That's why I focus on what you should do about it,
right?
And paying attention to what's going on because things could change so quickly is in your best interest.
I got lots of guns and I got lots of gas.
Yeah, I understand that, but things could change real quick, and then all of a sudden the roads are clogged.
Who's the fastest person you know?
The roads are clogged, but you're not paying attention. You might be, oh shit.
If it gets to the
assassinated.
news, then who is the fastest? Who do you want on your team if there's a collapse?
Well, yeah, you. Because you'll have my back too. I mean, you won't be an asshole.
Right. But if you had to go somewhere quickly, who do you want leading that caravan?
Well, you won't have a caravan. You're just going to be off ahead by yourself.
True, but if you wanted a leader of a caravan that must move quickly, who do you want? Who's the last person you're worried about getting out of Minneapolis on time?
Well, see, I'm a little worried about you in that because you're not, you don't pay attention enough. That's it.
Yeah, I like how you and Mrs. DT wake up. The first thing you do is you get your blood pressure up, looking at Drudge Report on your tablets at 6:30 a.m.
You don't get that's the coffee's good. That's what that means.
All right, how about this? I want you to call me when it's time. When you think it's time, call me because you're more on top of it.
When the whole network's down because everybody's calling everybody.
Well, if the network's down, then I get on my little motorcycle and my truck.
Well, you do have a motorcycle. That's true. You've got a motorcycle.
Well, we load that up into the truck and we go.
But anyway, it's very interesting times that we're living in right now. And the show is pretty amazing right now. It really is. And that's for Trump being elected, that alone is worth his election, is just how he fights and he doesn't back down, and it's glorious. It's just wonderful.
No, I like it very much. I mean, it's been a very entertaining, but a lot of it is
you're jaded. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
My career was to tell people what was going to happen to the economy. And also in part, what should we do with the economy to make it better? And 3 major fuck ups. If anyone had listened, we would have prevented, and the world, not the country, the world would have been in much better shape. And it's not that politicians aren't going to listen to me or bosses aren't going to listen to me. It's when I got rank and file dipshit 23-year-olds at a party who don't study shit. You don't fucking and dare to call me an ist or an ism because I'm for lower taxes and a balanced budget. It's like, you know what? Fuck it.
The more you pay attention, the more you separate yourself from the system because you realize it's fucked. You realize these politicians aren't the problem. It's the people that's the problem.
People are the problem. Yeah.
Once you realize that, then your perspective is correct and you're actually you're doing what's in your best interest, your family's best interest, your sphere of influence best interest, and trying to put the hurt on the people who actually deserve the hurt, which is the people.
Right.
Not the politicians.
So it's out of my control. I don't get worked up about it anymore.
Right.
So.
Right.
All right. Let's call this a podcast.
Sounds good.
Tell people where people can find, because you actually are putting together material now, content regularly.
Some content. Yes. Weekly content at blackbrigade.org.
Yes.
So it's a weekly podcast. Put it wherever the fuck you want. You can get the feed put it in whatever podcast reader. I put it on iTunes. And I try to get it up on YouTube about within a week of posting it on the flagship blackbrigade.org. I'd rather have you go to my website than to feed the enemy. So that's why I delay it on YouTube. So if you want to hear the weekly podcast on time, blackbrigade.org, and it automatically uploads to iTunes.
Yeah. And then we have my sponsors, if you'd be kind enough to visit them. We have The Science of Mastering Women. It's a book written by Linda Gross. She runs The Men's Advocate Show, both that you can Google and find online. The Science of Mastering Women, actually very detailed scientific work. It's very scientific. You can find that on Amazon. Yeah, but no, it's got charts, data. I mean, it's a lot like Roosh, where it's not just like, hey, pull up your sleeves this way. It's a little bit more in depth than that. So take a look at that. Also check out our show, The Men's Advocate Show. Check out nickschulander.com. Go to nickschulander.com if you need someone to do some digital marketing for you. You guys all know Nick. His name is spelled Schulaner, Schulaner.
Would you recommend him getting a different website name just because it's hard to spell his name?
No, I don't. Not really.
He might get more business if it was something easier.
Chicks with big tits, digital marketing.
Yeah,
oh my God, here's my money. L'Homme Addiction de l'Intelligence. That's the French version of The Curse of the High IQ. You can find that online. School of Errors, written by our good friend Dr. David Perrodin. If you got kids that are in school and you don't want them getting shot up, read the book, School of Errors. What else? The Pence Principle, written by my colleague Randall Bentwick. That's basically how to Me Too proof yourself so you don't get falsely accused of rape, which you technically can't, but you sure can hedge against it. And when they drag you up into court of law, you can say, hey, I got this recording. Look at that. She ripped my pants down. Oh, there goes her lips. It looks like it was consent to me, Your Honor. So get that book, The Pence Principle. Short read, vital read. RDK Legal. Go to rdklegal.com. Before, after, or during you're getting divorced, you should contact Russell before you even propose, because then he can help you out before you get married. We got my books. We have Adam Pickett's website, pushingrubberdownhill.com. We're done tuning into this podcast. Tune into Pushing Rubber Downhill. Go to pushingrubberdownhill.com and tune into Adam Pickett's podcast. He also has a book by the same name and another book called Run, Guts, Pull Cones. Absolutely mandatory reading. The League of Extraordinary Podcasters, 405media.com, financialsurvivalnetwork.com, Canto Talk starring Silvio Canto, O'Shea Jackson on YouTube, tjmartinell.com, World Class Bullshitters on YouTube, blackbrigade.com. See, I put you on the list there.
Blackbrigade.org. Blackbrigade.org.
Didn't even have the money to afford the .com.
The .com was gone. That was very expensive. So.
Entrepreneurs in Cars, non-communist science fiction.com, safetyphd.com, thegoddamnbacon.com, and the School Sucks Project. There's a bunch of podcasts for you to listen to. Bobbity-ba. If you'd also like to help out the old Capmeister, you can by going to olderbrother.com/donate. And there are the 3 ways you can do that. You can donate to the PayPal link. You click on the PayPal link. You go to PayPal. You just give me money, and you get nothing in return. You can go to the Patreon link. You go ahead. You become a patron, and you get access to the behind the paywall, stuff behind the paywall, including the Road Trip podcast, pinups of Mary Jo's tits, and access to the article, Sanity is the Future of Wealth, which I will be coming out with a best of book here relatively soon, and that will be the lead title. And then finally, you can do all your shopping through my Amazon affiliate program. That's the third and final link at olderbrother.com/donate. Just click on that banner. It takes you to Amazon. And then you do your shopping, and I make a commission and a cut. You don't pay anything extra.
On a computer. I always add that when you say that. You gotta say it's on an actual computer, not an app or not an app.
The app does not count. Stop being a young Gen Zer and be old and pissed off like us and use a computer. And that's it. We're out of here. We'll see you guys later. Will you take us out correctly there, DT?
Dismissed and toodles.
Toodles.